Good morning. My name is Melissa Kure, following the Bachelor's in Early Childhood Education. For this assignment on action research in early childhood education, we are assigned to do an action research in a nursery preschool classroom to enhance teachers' instructional practices or pedagogy to bolster children's learning in a specific domain. My choice of focus was behavior management that also affects social skills. My main research problem statement was, why do some children take a long period of time to settle down in a nursery while some children adopt within the days? This was a question that I always wondered because that's something that I saw in preschools. And how some children were being neglected due to certain behavior, and some children were encouraged and petted and given so much of love. This was something that was bothering me for a long time, and I decided this is something that I really felt to my heart, and I need to do some research about it. Primary objectives. My first primary objective was the adaptation rates on various factors that affect the children. Why do some children adapt very quickly and why some do not? Then the characteristics of the children. I needed to analyze what are the characteristics that upon children who were quickly adapting and the ones who didn't adapt that very quickly. So investigate the impact on the nursery environment. Was the nursery environment affecting the child? The staff experience. Was there any staff that was making them uncomfortable? All the support strategies that were there for the child to adapt. Then parent-child relationship, was that a hindrance? Then identifying strategies to support children's transition. What are the strategies that are there in a preschool nursery environment to help the child to transit? So that's something that is very important. So the target group for my research was children aged 2 to 3 years, parents, caregivers, and nursery staff, early childhood educational professionals. Intervention components. The main 5 intervention components that I had was parent-child play sessions to promote bonding and attachment, nursery environment modification, creating a welcoming and a nurturing environment to support the child. Was it there? So that was very important. Then staff training and support. Were the staff able to build relationship with the children? Create a predictable routine so that the child is comfortable and knows exactly what's happening, and encourage emotional expression and regulation. Just because the child is crying, we cannot condemn him or ignore him. So what do we do about it? What do we have in preschool? So parents, nursery partnership. What is the relationship that we have with the parents? Share information about the child's needs, the progress, and the concerns. How do we manage the concerns? Child-centered activities. Now, every preschool or Montessori that is there in Sri Lanka need to have child-centered activities for the child to do. Nursery preschool is not a place just to dump the child and go and for the child to be idle doing nothing. So, child-centered activities that promote socialization, exploration, and learning. All these categories must be prevalent in a preschool. Then, what are the intervention activities that I thought was very essential for children to go from one step to another? One is parent-child play sessions. I felt that was very important, which was lacking in almost all the Montessoris. So, when we bring the child for the first day to the preschool, we at least need to welcome one parent with the child and give them 1 hour to bond within the nursery environment, because the nursery is new. The people there are new, the teachers are new, and you're going to bring a child who's been loved at home and dump into a place and expect the child to be normal just by in a few seconds. That's impossible. So it's very important for the parent, at least one parent, to be involved with the child so that the child is comfortable with the parents. Is that happening here in Sri Lanka? I didn't see it at all. So I felt that was a key factor to give a parent-child play session at least for the very first week so that the child will become comfortable and will happily come to this environment, and the parent will introduce the teacher and the teacher will be very comfortable with the child after that. So sensory play, music and movement, and cooking and baking is something that we can do with the parents on the first week. Nursery environment modification. What are the modifications we can do to welcome the child? Like visual schedules, like decorate the preschool. Are we decorating the preschool? Are the teachers taking time to decorate the preschool? and to welcome emotional expression. If this child is sad, we need to have like a board with all the expressions. The child can go and say how he feels by tapping at it or looking at it or pointing at it. Sensory friendly spaces for them to use their senses, and a welcoming area. Staff training and support. It's very important for the staff to be trained in a way to handle emotions of the children. Communication, how to communicate with the child. We need to get down to the child's level and to speak to the child. Child development. To understand that each child is different and that each child is growing in a different interval and they blossom. So those are some of the things that the teachers need to be aware of and to manage certain behaviors. Like if a child is constantly crying, how are we going to handle a child like that? Parent nursery partnerships. Those are very important. Regular updates. We need to update the parents, so we need to have parent teacher conference, parent volunteer opportunities, and we need to pass on a newsletter. Then data collection. How do we collect data? Now this was something that I did for the research. I managed to do a standard assessment test and use the preschool adaptation scale, which is questions to be rated from 1 to 5, and I was able to get an understanding of all the children that I took in for my assignment. So this survey was indeed used a standard assessment. I used a standard assessment tool to analyze my results. So quantitative methods. What are the qualitative methods that we can do, such as interviews, observations, and parents' feedback? Additional data collection, what are the other ways of collecting data? One is the attendance record. We can see whether the child is coming to school regularly and to monitor the child's participation, especially whether he is participating in all activities or whether he has preferences, and to see the child's progress record that is being done and monitored by the class teacher. So for this research, I took about 1 to 4 weeks because I needed to see the change in this child, because it's not going to happen within a week. So the first 2 weeks was crucial, and the third and the fourth week it subsided, and the children, most of them got adopted. Target group. I used 4 children. I named them as A, B, C, D, and each child, the first child, his reaction was the first week he was vomiting constantly. That was like to show refusal to come to school. That was like self-rejection process. That's how he tried to, tell that he's not interested in coming to school. And the B child, he had a habit of not wearing his clothes at home. So he wanted to come to preschool and remove all his shorts and stay in school. That was hygienically not accepted, and his genitals were exposed, and the children were not willing to be friends with him. So that was the problem with the second child. And the third child, the C child, he was constantly crying, and he was very attached to the mother, and the problem was mother was prolonging the departure. So because of that, mother found it very hard to detach from the child. So that became the cause for him. And the child D was the ideal child, because she was very confident, got involved in all the activities, and is very, very independent. So looking at the 4 children and how they changed over the course of the 3 to 4 weeks, it was amazing to see, because the first child A, was he needed a lot of time, patience, and love, and he made friends finally, and he became a very happy child. Child B, though he was trying to remove his clothes, with constant discussion with the parent, he became less. He had less anxiety, and he also needed a lot of time to change. And child C is the one who was constantly crying. We needed to counsel the mother and to tell her to leave cheerfully, and then to assure him that she will be back to pick him up. So child 4 was very eager, cheerful as always, and she was very eager to learn. So I was very happy with the results, and this is some of the images of the preschool and how I mingle with the kids and how I had the opportunity. So thank you very much. I enjoy doing my research, and this is the first time I did a research, and I enjoyed it to the max. And it's a very heartfelt opportunity that I had to mingle with kids and to learn something new. Thank you.